One of the interesting areas that a customer recently talked to me about was around the end user experience. So think of whoever you sell to, whether you are a higher ed institution selling to students, or you are a retail business or a B2B business, whoever you are, when you think about support channels, when you think about how can you really bring sophistication to the user experience, here is a interesting set of considerations. So imagine a 2x2, right? On one axis of that, you have the degree of involvement. Is it a high involvement decision or a low involvement decision? And then on the other axis, you have AI or a highly automated interaction. And on the other hand, you have a human interaction. So if you look at that matrix of high and low involvement and a human interaction versus automated interaction, you can actually break down your entire user experience in those four quadrants and figure out where you want to focus. I'll give you an example from, say, higher ed. So in the higher education space, I have two kids who are going to college. There is first a whole bunch of how do I type frequently asked questions. That is low involvement. I really don't want to talk to a human. I may, but my kids definitely don't want to talk to a human, right? Any 17, 18-year-old does not want to, they want to text. So you can have a chat type interface. You can use Einstein Chatbot, and we are doing a lot of work with it, where it is integrated through GPT-5 with AI. So you get very natural language responses, and it can look at all your FAQs and website and answer on it. Anyway, that's a perfect example of low involvement, completely automated. If you put humans there, you're wasting money. It really doesn't. And frankly, you may also be deteriorating your end user experience. So it's completely a lose-lose. If the customer doesn't want it, you're wasting more money. Totally useless. This is where you absolutely want to apply technology. If you don't have that, you should do that. Contact me, I can help. The second part of this is high involvement and human touch. And an example of that is financial aid, right? Now my kid wants to go to a particular college. Now we are serious. This is a big deal, right? My boy is going to spend 4 years at some college, and I want to be sure as a parent that he's making the right decision. I want to be part of it, and I want to make sure that is the correct decision for this person. We are also going to spend a huge amount of money in America, even in America, even undergrad education in a university for out-of-state people could be anywhere between $200,000 to $300,000 or more. So it is a substantial amount of money. Literally, it's right next after purchasing your house. Prior to my kids going to college, I thought it was house and then car, but apparently it's not. So it's house, college education, and then cars, unless you drive a really expensive car. Anyway, the point is, when you think of financial aid, when you think of all of these kind of things, which are very high involvement decision, those are perfect places where you may start with a chatbot interaction, but at some point you may want to route it to a human. So it may be a counselor or someone on an admissions team who can talk and make someone at ease. Similarly, even on the low involvement, when you start with a chatbot, if you feel that the conversation is getting with a negative sentiment, you can have the chatbot redirected to a human. We don't allow that kind of work these days because with AI, you have the ability to apply sentiment analysis. You have the ability to do isolation of specific keywords and look for trigger words, which would require you to either create a case or redirect to any. And that is an interesting part of doing all of these decomposition by high involvement, low involvement, automated versus human, is that you start to allocate your resources in a manner which is the most effective for your income. This is one of those areas which I think does not require a significant amount of new technology. It does require a new mindset, a new way to think. And a lot of people that I've spoken with are still not there. If you are a 50-something or older tenured person in a university and you are building experience for 18-something, know that they like to text, not talk, right? And bring that mentality into everything you're doing for every low involvement thing. It should be as automated as you can make it, as self-service as you can make it. And then you have some sort of a imaginary line beyond which it becomes from a low involvement to high involvement. And when it gets there, you then bring in human, you create a case, you redirect to an agent, you do whatever you need to do to give them a great experience. That's what I think about it. Very curious to hear what your opinion is. Thank you so much.